What's up, everybody? South China Morning Post, martial arts. We're gonna wait for Liam, but it's always good to kick it off a little early to get warmed up, right, Nick? What's going on, man?
Yes, good to be back with another action-packed show. We have Liam Harrison, the hitman. Not only him, but Jared Brooks, the monkey god, one strawweight MMA champion, will also be here. He's set to come in about half an hour on the show. Liam is set to be here soon, so we'll see if they turn up. Fingers crossed they do. So the plan is, John, to talk a little bit about last Friday's show, One Friday Fights 22, which you and I were there for, and was brilliant. And Liam has obviously got some vested interest in some of the athletes and results on that card. And then Jared, we're going to get into it with him about what the future holds, a few interesting things going on for him. I'm all good. How about you? You're back in Korea. We were both in Thailand. You were there for a while, actually. But I had a fleeting visit for a couple of days. But how was your month-long trip? I think it was.
Yeah, 3 weeks. It was all right. You know what I mean? It's Thailand, man. And luckily it didn't rain while I was there at all, which is kind of crazy because it's rainy season right now. But, you know, even if it's rainy season, it's still paradise. It's still beautiful. Unless you're in Bangkok, then it's, you know, it's Bangkok, the city that will swallow you if you let it. So, yeah, Phuket and the islands are so much better. I'm an island boy. You know what I mean? Like I never knew I was, but I am, man. Like I love the islands. I love the island lifestyle. I love wearing slippers and shorts every day. I love going to the beach. I love just the weather, everything. You know what I mean? It's better than being in the city. Let's just put it like that. A lot of people, they love the city though, man. You can't take people away from the city.
I'm with you there. I live in the city too, and I also love the beach lifestyle. I used to just wear the shorts and flip-flops here in the city, but everyone laughed at me. Oh, look, it's Jared and Liam
we
at the
got
same
both
time.
of them in here. What's going on? Both of them, they got good timing, huh?
Well, we got Liam here. We weren't planning on having Jared. We weren't planning on having you for half an hour. I don't know if you want to come back or you want to say hey to your boy Liam Harrison. Or
yes,
what?
boys.
Up, Liam. It's good to see you, my dog.
Yeah, how are you, mate? You good?
Good. What time is it over there?
Early, mate. 12:30 in the afternoon.
Got you.
Yeah.
I heard you guys became the dynamic duo. How did that all happen?
I don't know.
I think it all started with our Singapore trip when he got that 100K, and we were just chilling outside of the pool, and I got to hang out with him and his badass coaches.
Yeah, that was a good day, that, mate. I enjoyed that. That was a good day.
Yeah, we got to chill and relax, and then you know we were paired up over at One Fight Night 10, so that was super cool as well. You know, just getting to hang out with him. I mean, if you gave me a choice between Eddie Bravo and Liam Harrison, no offense, I would pick Liam Harrison.
Yeah, my man.
Shots fired. Shots fired right there. Not a flat earther. You're not a flat earther.
Yeah, man. I'll hop on another 30 minutes, but much love, Liam.
You have a good one, Jared. I'll see you soon, mate.
Yeah, I hope to see you on the next card.
Yeah, man. I'm almost ready to come back now. My knee's almost better, so yeah.
Hell yeah, guys. All right, John. All right, guys.
All right.
See you soon.
See you soon.
See you, mate. All right. Yeah, that would have been too crazy having you guys both on. Yeah. I know you guys got up to no good in Denver. Yeah, the bromance was blooming out there in America, wasn't it?
You know what? He's a cool guy, mate. I've got a lot of time for him. I really like him. He proper cracks me up. He's so funny.
Yeah, I love Jared too. But we want to speak to you, Liam, first because, well, first of all, how was the move? You told me you're moving house. What's going on?
Mate. So it fell apart at the last minute, and now we've got to move next week. This is how I'm living like this at the minute. Out of boxes, mate. I'm living out of cardboard boxes. And the thing is, because we're moving now in a couple more days, there's no point unpacking everything and then just to pack it all back up. So until then, But to be fair, I don't really do anything through the week other than I'm in gym clothes all the time because I'm in and out of the gym. So it's not affecting me that bad. But it's just annoying. There's boxes all over the house. My missus is stressed to death with it all. It's just a nightmare. I'm never moving again. That's it. When I get in this new house, that's it. I'm not moving. I'm done.
Smart man. John, you're about to move soon as well, aren't you? Going to Phuket from South Korea, I think.
Yes, yes. I'm gonna make the move, man, to Phuket, and yeah, start
At
my
least,
journey.
at least you're moving to somewhere beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
what about you?
I'm just moving to another end of Leeds. That's where I'm moving, mate. And I'm not moving to anywhere exotic. I'm just moving just round the corner. But it's still stressful.
But you lived a beautiful life, you know. I mean, now you gotta settle down a little bit, right? No?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I
A
suppose.
little bit.
Did that 100K that Jared mentioned, did that help you out with the mortgage, the deposit of this house, or what?
Yeah, that went into it. To be honest, I said I was going to put it towards a move with my fiance, and that's what it's gone into. Yeah, I've been able to upgrade and upscale my house with that nice little bonus, So yeah, thank you, One Championship.
Wow,
Liam,
perfect.
I wanted to ask you about these bonuses, though. You know, because Chatri, he gives them out like hotcakes. Like he's like Oprah Winfrey.
He's just slinging him around all over the place. And do you know what? I'm so mad that I'm injured at the minute. Nolo's got a lot to answer for fucking my knee up, I'm telling you. Because I'm so mad that I'm injured at the minute. I keep seeing these bonuses getting thrown all over. And I'm like, well, I'm missing out on all this. But yeah, hopefully I'm back soon and I can.
Do you feel like these other promotions, I'm pretty sure you watch the other promotions around the world, some of them don't even have bonuses. And the ones that do, they're kind of stingy, right? Like Chatri showed you, like, come on, these promotions have some money to throw out. Let's give some money to the fighters.
Yeah, 100%. Like I see some guys on UFC and things like that, and I watch them have absolutely ridiculous wars, and no bonuses get thrown out. And then I read up on the purses afterwards, and the purses are terrible as well. I'm like, wow,
like 12 and 12.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, wow. So yeah, you can't be mad at the way, especially the what he's doing on the Friday fights in Thailand. He's changing the Thais' lives. Like Sexan, he's had a bonus every fight now. Big bonuses are normal, and he got a double one at the weekend again. And it's guys like him who spent his entire career going to absolute insane wars in every single fight. He deserves this sort of stuff, and it's beautiful to see, really. Because I read something not long back, in COVID, one of his fights pay slips got put on the internet, and it was something disgraceful, like 40,000 baht, and he only got half of it. So he came out of it with about 400 English pounds or something, which for someone like him, it's sad to see. And I remember in COVID, he was selling fruit and stuff like that to try and survive. And now he's had these 4 fights on One Championship. He's had bonuses every single fight. And now he's been able to build a house for his family and do everything that he's wanted to do over all these years. So stuff like that, that's beautiful to see.
That is beautiful. I mean, he had an incredible fight. There were so many incredible fights, Liam. What else caught your eye? There were so many. It was such a crazy night. I think there were 3 $50,000 bonuses, 6 or 5 10,000 baht, and then $10,000. 1 double 10,000, so 20,000. Then 2 contracts, I think, for One Championship. It was just a mad night.
Oh, exactly. It were absolutely insane. The fights that caught my eye, the ones that I knew were going to caught my eye. I knew Nico were gonna, because he's an absolute specimen, mate. He's such an incredible athlete. And how he makes that weight, I will never, ever know. He's fucking humongous.
He is.
I've done some work with him, and I've trained him, and I'm close with his coach, JP, so we always discuss tactics when he's going to fight and stuff like that. And we spoke in depth about the tactics to fight Muay Thai and stuff like that. We were both on the same wavelength, and he just pulled it off to perfection. But I felt a bit sorry for Muay Thai, mate, because when he got in ring and he saw what was stood in front of him, he must have just thought, oh, shit, what on earth have I signed myself up for here? Because he was just twice the size of him. And I said on my Instagram, it's not like he's twice the size of everyone in that division and just a bigger lump who doesn't really know what he's doing. He's twice the size, but he's skillful. He knows how to fight. He's got a good IQ, and he knows how to use that strength, and he knows how to use his timing and all that. So he's, as long as he doesn't grow out of that division, because I think he's only 24, 25, Nico, and he'll still be just filling out a little bit. As long as he doesn't grow out of the division where he can't make that weight anymore, he's going to be fucking very hard to beat. It also depends. Now he's signed. I know they have a 5% rule on the shows I fight on, the big ones, where the way you after the fighting, you're not allowed to put on more than 5%. So for our weight, Nico wouldn't be allowed to put on more than 3 kilo, and I think, obviously, he's absolutely humongous. So I think overnight he must be putting on about 7-8 kilo, I think, because he's twice the size of everyone in that division. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays into it. But without that, mate, he's such an incredible athlete. Like, you've seen how good an athlete he is. He was doing backflips and stuff after the fight. But his timing's on point. He's strong. He's got solid hands. He can clinch well. So, yeah, he's going to be a nightmare in that division for anyone. Obviously, my boy Superlek, that was ridiculous as well. Because Nabil is no joke, Nabil. I've watched Nabil beat some very, very high-level Thais. I've watched him cause massive problems to everyone. And I think even I think he might take Superlek a round or two here to figure him out, get used to the height advantage. And he just went out and absolutely just obliterated him. And I've never seen Nabil even really get hurt badly in a fight like that. He just absolutely obliterated him. So they were the two standout performances for me. I think that just showed like what level the guys who were winning them fights were at. And yeah, they were my two favourite performances. Just for the Nico's were class because I knew what the game plan was. And he just pulled it off to perfection. And Nabil's Superlek versus Nabil, because I don't think anyone expected Superlek to just blitz him the way he did. It were incredible.
Well, I wanted to ask you about those two fights. So it's perfect, because Nico Carrillo, he also called out Jonathan Haggerty. A lot of people calling Haggerty's name, right? A lot of people, Rodtang wants him, you want him. Yeah.
No matter what weight division they're in, everyone just wants to fight. I get in. He's just running around with a big bullseye straight out the middle of his chest. I thought, do you know what? I spoke to Superlek not long back because I did a training camp with him and he kept saying he wanted to fight Rodtang. So I'm not sure if someone whispered something in his ear saying, don't fight Rodtang. Please don't. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what's going on there. Because he kept saying to me before, I want to fight Rodtang. And yeah, so God knows what's going on there. But now I know what I'd understand. Fair enough, if you're the champion at Muay Thai in your weight division and you want to move up and win the title in the next one, yeah, then shout, I get his name. But until you're the champion in your own division, then just shout for whoever the champion is. Do you know what I mean? And I know they both keep saying, "Oh yeah, we want to keep the belts in Thailand. We don't want to fight each other." Surely the only way to keep the belts in Thailand is if the Thais fight the Thais. That's logic, isn't it? You know what I mean? If it's Thai versus Thai, the belt's staying in Thailand, isn't it? You never know. Haggerty might just keep pulling off all these mad upsets and none of them will have any belts, do you know what I mean? So I don't fucking know. But yeah, just make them fight each other. The entire world should go on strike until them two are made to fight each other.
Well, you make a good point. If a Thai fights a Thai, the Thai stays a champ every single time.
The logic just is mind-blowing and I don't get it.
And what is it? Yeah, and Rodtang, he's the 10 million bot man. Why would you not want to fight him, right? Like, don't you want to be the 10 billion bot man?
You fucking goddamn right. You know what I mean? Bloody hell. And to be fair as well, Rodtang's last few fights, like the level of opponent has not been up to the elite level. If you look at who Superlek's been beating in there, Nabil's been fighting top level in Thailand. Pampayak, he's beat him twice. Pampayak is one of the greats of this era. He destroyed Walter in one round, whereas Walter had a really close title fight with Rodtang. Do you know what I mean? So when you're looking at it like that, I don't know. But obviously the way it's going to be marketed, the Americans love Rodtang. They love him and they love watching his antics and stuff like that. So obviously they're going to want to push him, especially now that there's the prime shows, they're getting into America. And I totally understand that. But at the end of the day, this is a sport and you should want to see who's the best in the division and who's the best on the planet. And all the fans wanted to see who's the best on the planet. And we all want to see what's going on there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like there's a lot of American fans that need to calm down a little bit because I read something on Twitter earlier where someone said that Rodtang would have beat Prime Saenchai, and I was like, oh my god, what is going on here? I just don't know what planet some of these people are on. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, I think honestly, if that fight does happen, I think Superlek beats him, and I think he takes him to school and beats him convincingly. But I don't know. Well, they're both talking about not wanting to fight each other and that. So it might be one of them. Just know where you just never see it. Like I remember quite a few years ago, and Saenchai and everyone wanted to see Saenchai and Anawat fight because they were both under different promoters and stuff, and they just never ended up fighting each other. So it might be just like another one of them situations. You see it in boxing all the time, don't you? Mayweather and Pacquiao. They might end up fighting when they're both 45 years old. You know what I mean? So who knows?
Well, some people, Liam, are saying Rodtang's also ducking Takeru now. He put a tweet out or an Instagram saying, you need to get some wins in one championship before you face me. But other people saying Rodtang has fought debutantes in his last 4 fights, I think.
Exactly, and he's fought like people like Lazeri, who's from the weight division below, Mini T from the weight division below, and again he had a tough fight with Mini T. Mini T give him an hard time, and Superlek just blitzed Mini T straight out of that when they fought. So Rodtang, I don't know if Rodtang just believes all his own hype or whatever, but there's no need for him to say that, because it's not as if Takeru's not proven as one of the greatest kickboxers of this era. He's done everything, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? So and the reason why he's signing to one is, like Chatri said, they're going to make him versus Rodtang in Japan, in Tokyo, and make it a big, massive spectacle. So why is he trying to talk himself out of it now? I don't know whether he's worried if he thinks like, oh, if I fight Superlek and I lose, or if I fight Takeru and I lose, maybe my money will go back down. I won't be able to buy any new Mustangs or all these crazy trainers and T-shirts and shades that I keep seeing him in. He keeps turning up to fights like an absolute pimp, just still got all drip coming up.
He was wearing all white the other night.
Mate, I'd be doing it, mate. If I were on that money, I'd be doing it, mate. I'd walk around with a pimp cane and everything. I'd have the job lot if I were doing what he was doing. So you know what? I don't blame him at all, to be fair. But he's going to have to, like, the level of his opponents are going to have to come up. He's going to have to fight Superlek. He's going to have to fight Takeru. And he's going to have to level up to do it. So, yeah, I think I watched Takeru at the weekend. And he's dangerous, isn't he? He fought one of my friends, Bailey Sugden, who I spar with quite a lot. And Bailey's a handful, mate. Like, when I spar with Bailey, he's a tough spar. And although he got stopped with about 2 seconds left in the fight, he put a good account of himself. But Takeru's level, he was just levels above him, you know. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight, that one. I don't know how. I think kickboxing rules, I see Takeru taking that one, but.
What about you, Liam? A few people asking in the chat, when are you coming back? Someone is suggesting maybe you're going to fight Pam Payak, I think it was. Yeah, Ichi said. Is that on the cards?
No, I've been told who my comeback fight is, and it will be in October. I'm probably not allowed to say. I don't want to get in trouble, because I'll probably get in trouble for half the fucking things that are coming out of my mouth in this, to be honest. I'll get strongly worded email through from someone in a bit, but yeah, I've been told that it's October. Obviously, I'm still just rehabbing my knee and stuff at the minute. But yeah, I'll be back in October. I want to fight twice before the year's out. So maybe October, then December, just before Christmas, and then I can have a strong start next year as well. And we'll see where we go. Obviously, I want to get back in title contention. There's a queue forming now as well. Lobo's in there. There's newcomers like Nico Carrillo who's going to want to try and blast through them rankings as well. So yeah, But yeah, there's quite a few fights that I'm interested in coming back. And you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to fight Sexan. Nothing other than just the fact that he's one of my heroes. He's one of the greatest entertaining fighters of this era. And I fought all the legends from this era. He's the only one missing.
Are you giving us a hit? Are you giving us a hit? Are you giving us a hit?
Yeah, no, not yet. He's not my comeback fight. I do. Once I'm fully fit, I'd love to fight him, because one, he's the only legend missing from my resume from this era, and two, I just think when I'm fully fit and the way he fights, I think we could produce some real magic. Do you know what I mean? And it'll be absolutely mad. So that'd be an interesting one. But yeah, we'll see where it goes from my comeback and stuff like that first.
So. Can we rule out you and Haggerty in October at Wembley Stadium or something?
I need I know, but that won't be my comeback fight. And do you know what? It won't be fair, because obviously I can't get my knee snapped in half and then come straight back to a title fight. I think there's people like Lobo who just knocked outside my pitch, and that who could possibly. And Haggerty's another one. No, he's calling just random mad name. He called Towanchai out the other day. Fair play to Haggerty. Do you know what I mean? Because that seems like suicide to me, but do you know what? He's obviously after his knockout against Nongo, he's going to be believing he can do almost anything. So yeah, fair play to him. But yeah, let's see what they do. Let's see where it goes from there. I know Petnanon was calling him out as well for the kickboxing title. He's calling out Towanchai, and the Superlek and Rodtang all calling him out. Like I say, he's got a big bullseye on his name, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see which route they choose for him to go, whether he'll defend the title, whether he'll move up, or whether he'll fight Petnanon and go for a double belt. It's an interesting division in it at the minute, and there's all Muay Thai in one championship now is the most interesting by a mile, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to ask you, do you think we're in a golden era now for the sport in one championship? I think it played second fiddle to the MMA for a long time, and then the kickboxing even sort of took more prominence. But I think now with what we've seen since January, as a watcher, I myself have come to learn so much more about it this year and to appreciate it more. I'm sure, as someone who's been in it for so long, are you really proud to see it?
Yeah, I'm loving it, to be fair. And there's a lot of like Muay Thai purists out there who don't really like the direction it's going in. But
yeah, that was my next question for you, actually, because RJ was asking here what you think about the 4-ounce gloves and everything.
So everything in life, it evolves over time. Every sport evolves. If you look at football or soccer, whatever you want to call it, how that was in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and how it is today, it's changing. It's almost like a different sport. And that's what you do. You evolve with the times. And if you want more money into it, this is the way to do it. If you want to get fighters paid, it has to be. Muay Thai has never been able to get pushed worldwide on television, and there's been a reason for it. People haven't really liked the 5-3 Muay Thai style. They haven't really liked the traditional style. They didn't like the opening 2 rounds where it's a bit slow and the fighters are feeling each other out. And a lot of people who are Muay Thai purists, they start to get bored of this and they'll lose interest halfway through round 2 before the fight really opens up and gets going. There's none of this on one championship. You put like the best strikers in the world in 4-ounce gloves, 3 rounds, and then dangle loads of bonuses in front of him and going, yeah, there's 50 grand there if you go crazy and knock him out. You're going to get the most exciting fights imaginable, and that's what's happening at the minute. The sport's evolving, and if you want to get on with it, jump on board and push yourself and go for that one championship contract. If not, carry on what you're doing. But I'll tell you something, you're not going to be getting these bonuses and making a good living like all the guys who are signed to one are doing now. So yeah, you just got to evolve and go with the times, because this is what's happening. We're in the one championship era now. That's where it is. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I mean, I've had my career. I had like 117, 18 fights under traditional Muay Thai rules. I'm happy to finish my career here and fight like this and get on these stages and these cards and get the exposure worldwide and stuff. And I can't see why any other fighter would not want that and would not want this for our sport.
How big would it be for you to actually have one championship, throw a show in the UK, like bringing one championship to the UK? That would be like a milestone, right, for yourself somewhat.
You know, for the whole of UK Muay Thai, I think we've got some like high-level fighters that like in the UK as well. UK and Scotland, obviously, there's Nico, there's me, there's Haggerty, like Bendon's shown his level. And I felt sorry for Bendon against Sexton because he only took that on 3 weeks' notice, and he were on holiday and he wasn't super fit. If he were fitter, he'd have done a lot better in that fight. But you still saw his level. We've got Liam Nolan, we've got other top fighters in the UK like Joe Ryan and Joe Craven and stuff. We could like put a really good event on in England. Mix that with bringing a couple of the top guys over like Rodtang and Superlek and those guys, and we would fill out any arena in England, no doubt. And it'd be incredible to have, and like I'd love to be involved in it. Like obviously, I'd like to be the main event. I need to come back and get a win or two under my belt first, but I'd love to be involved in a main event there because it'd be absolutely massive. And I've done everything I wanted to do in my career. Other than now, I just want to finish strong on one championship now and go out in style. So yeah, that'd be a perfect ending for me, really.
All right. Well, RJ has come back and just asked, does 4-ounce Muay Thai remove the skill?
Do you know what? Yes and no, because there's technicians out there who might be point scorers and Muay Thai styles that they're going to struggle with this. Obviously, you need a skill level in there, but you need to be able to have better head moving. If you can dodge a shot in 4-ounce gloves, obviously that there's skill level involved. However, the bonuses and the 4-ounce gloves, they are pushing people more to be like a Muay Mat style, like just a wild. Like you saw Tom Poon in the opening fight on Friday. He just ran straight across the ring and just started swinging all over. And yeah, there wasn't much skill involved, but it was entertaining. And that's what you need for television. If people are going to like get it on TV and stuff like that, it is really entertaining. But yeah, I get what you're saying about the skill level going down a bit. Those type of fighters are going to struggle, which is a shame because in the stadiums a few years ago when you used to watch all the Muay Thai styles, it were a beautiful thing to watch. However, that's not saying that they can't adapt their style, because if you look at someone like Tawanchai and Nongo, they are two of the best Muay Thai from this generation, and they both won titles. Nongo had a great run of 10 or 11 and defenses or something crazy like that. Tawanchai's champion at that weight. So there is ways where you can find to still have that female style and adapt it a little bit into the 4-ounce glove style. But it is going to be tough for him.
All right. Well, John, do you have anything else for Liam? I think Jared will be here in 5 minutes, so I don't know how long you can hang around, Liam. But
I've got another 5.
Oh yeah.
On the last fight night, we had a Amber Kitchen fight, and she's gone winless in one championship, but all of her fights have been crazy. Her last one, arguably, she could have gotten the judge's decision on that one. What do you see in her? She's still so young, man. Like, she's only 24 years old.
So Amber trained with us at my gym, and she moved there about 6 months ago. She's done her last few fight counts with us, and I feel sorry for her because Amber's only had about 18 fights. And every fight she gets put in, they've all had like 4 times more fights than her. They've all that was Jackie Bunton with a challenge at a title contender, and the girl she just fought, I can't pronounce her name, but she was ranked number 4 in the world in the women's pound for pound kickboxing rankings. She was 8 times world champion. She was on a 14-fight win streak, and Amber were on a 3-fight losing streak, and Amber still nearly won. She's just not quite there yet, and she's getting just slightly overmatched. She needs to, personally, I'd like to see one championship, bring her down to someone who's had the similar amount of experience than her, and then all this new stuff she's learning with us at our gym, she could then put it into action when she fights. It's tough for her at the minute because she's getting put in there with girls who've had 3 times more fights than her, world champions, and it must be daunting for her thinking this, but she, like her last fight, I thought she did great, and she nearly got the girl out of there in round 1. She started strong, and it was a very entertaining fight, but she's just not quite there yet. She's getting there with every fight, and like all the stuff she's learning with us and stuff, we're seeing massive improvements all the time. But when you're fighting someone every single time who's had a much more experience than you, it's hard to translate it from the gym into the ring. Maybe that they can match someone like a little bit fairer next time, because there's so many fighters who want to get on one championship on these Friday Lumpini shows. Now, it can't be that hard to find a girl who's actually had the same amount of fights as her. And then we can see how good she actually is and how much she has improved. But he's just tough for her at the minute. She's getting put in with the world champions every fight and stuff like that. So she's getting better every fight, no doubt, but she's just not quite at that level yet.
With the competition that she's faced and how she's performed and how she's gotten better, I feel like once it clicks for her, she's gonna start running the table on some of these girls, man. Bad, like it's gonna be violent.
100%. Like you saw, like the potential in that last fight. Like there were moments where she showed really good moments of brilliance and stuff. And she's obviously clearly tough as nails because she took some big shots in that last fight as well. So yeah, like you say, once everything clicks together and we just start getting, because you like to say, she only lived in Leeds with us for 5 months. Give her another 2 years, and then we'll see where she is then. Because I think she'll be up there then, 100%.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. She's got so much potential.
Yeah, definitely.
Liam, one from Ichi here in the chat. What's up, Ichi? Asking who the next big English Muay Thai fighter is after you and Haggerty. Is it Freddie Haggerty, the younger brother?
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's Joe Ryan. He's 19 years old. He's 2-time world champion. He just fought on one of my promotions that I did in England, the Hitman Fight League.
Yeah, give us a bit of a plug for that as well. I wanted to...
Well, yeah, so listen, Joe Ryan fought the main event on this. He fought Magnus Anderson, who Magnus has fought for the one championship title. He's fought a lot of good ties, and Joe knocked him spark out in the first round with a head kick. It was pretty scary, actually, to be fair. So yeah, look out for him and go follow him on his socials. Joe Ryan, he's an incredible young talent. He's so good. And then obviously there's guys like Joe Craven and stuff as well. He's coming through. He had a crazy fight on that show. Yeah, so those are the 2 guys to look out for, I'd say.
All right. Well, there's some trolls in the chat as well, and one of them is adamant I ask you about Arjan Bhullar because apparently you weren't so complimentary of him last week.
No, listen, I don't know what I'm fucking looking at when I'm looking at MMA, but to me, that didn't look very good. I don't know whether it was or not. He just wasn't doing anything, and I couldn't. I know, like, the Russian geezer's a big, scary dude, 12-0, 12 finishes. And I'd have probably been shitting my pants a little bit as well and running away. But I just couldn't get my head around how he was the world champion because he just didn't look like he had anything to offer back to how do you say the Russian's name?
Anatoly Malikin.
Malikin, yeah. That's it, yeah. It didn't look like it. It didn't look like he was trying. It wasn't like there were any point where he threw caution to win and thought, I'm getting beat up here. Fuck it, I'll just go crazy and throw some shots. He just didn't. I thought, he said he was a wrestler. There were no attempt at any wrestling or takedowns. I just wasn't impressed, and that's all I can say about it.
All right.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good showing from Arjan that night, and it looked like he tried to slide out the ring a couple times.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
another thing. He was like he was trying to escape under the bottom rope. Yeah, like I say, I don't really know what I'm looking at in MMA, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't like an elite level performance.
All right, I got one last question before we let you go. Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg in Muay Thai 4-ounce gloves. Who you taking?
Elon Musk, I don't know. He looks like he's a little bit like autistic and like he'll be a bit crazy and that. So yeah, I'll go with Elon Musk.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks, Liam, for jumping in. We do have Jared Brooks coming up anytime now. So we appreciate you joining us and hopefully speak to you soon. Maybe when they confirm this fight, we could have you back at some point.
Yep, nice one, mate. Just let me know and I'll be back.
Oh, also, commiserations on Leeds relegation. I didn't speak to you since
pathetic,
then. Yeah.
Mate, pathetic.
Yeah.
And we're going to struggle to get out of that championship division now as well. But we'll see. Need a new manager first. We haven't even got a manager.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, not looking good. All right. Well, yeah, thanks again, Liam. We'll see you soon. And hopefully Leeds can get some good signings in before we speak to you, and you'll be a bit happier on that front as well.
I won't hold my breath with that, mate.
All right, cool.
See you soon, guys.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Bye. All right, that was Liam Harrison. And we're going straight in to the Monkey God in the house.
Guys?
What's up, Jared? How are you doing?
Just hanging out, just getting up. Probably going to go up for a run and then hit my first practice.
What time is it? It's pretty early, huh?
It's 7:30, right? Or 8 now.
Oh, sorry to keep you waiting if you had wanted to jump in earlier. Hope we haven't wasted your time there.
No, I've needed an excuse to halt this run.
All right, I like that. Putting off exercise. I'm an expert at that. I'm a world champion at that. But you're a world champion in MMA, Jared. But we haven't seen you defend that belt since winning it, man. I want to see Jared back in the cage, but all quiet on the Western front, the Eastern front, wherever you are in the world. No one's getting you a fight, Jared. No America, no Asia. What's going on?
I'm looking for a fight. I'm waiting to hear from matchmakers. I'm waiting to hear from One Championship. Last thing that I heard, I'm hearing in fall. So hopefully that comes into terms and, this situation plays out in our hand. But, it doesn't matter who it is. It can be Demetrius Johnson. It could be Anatoly. It can be anybody, bro. I'm ready to fight anybody in One Championship. Just give me a fight. I'm dying right now.
Anatoly Malikin and Jared Brooks. It's a
bunch of. I'd hit a bunch of low singles on Anatoly. He'd be like trying to hammer fist me the whole time, and I'll just single leg.
Well, what about this new guy? Because there is Mansour Malakiev. He beat Jeremy Miado, who was kind of flirting with the idea of a title shot, and I think you entertained it as well. But maybe he's now thrown his name in the ring.
And he's a fucking stiff zombie Russian. That's all he is. he comes in, walks in like a fucking zombie. Very easy target. He tries to shoot in every time. He's a lower class version of me. And everybody's seen it when he fought Miado. Miado is a hard test, don't get me wrong, but he used Miado's Achilles heel against him. It was a smart way of approaching the fight, but was not impressed in how Mansour did in that first round.
What about this, though? Because DJ, he's contemplating retirement, but he had a stare down, didn't he, in Denver with Kairat Akhmetov, who's just popped positive drug test. Does that rule Kairat out? Maybe you could slide in and challenge Mighty Mouse, or what?
I'll slide right in there like a slippery little snake. No, I would love to fight Demetrius Johnson. I would love to fight that cheater Kairat too. I think that I beat guys that cheat all the time. So anytime that Kairat wants to step in the circle too, I'll beat your cheating ass. As long as you have enough steroids in your system to beat me.
Do you feel bad for Reese McLaren? Because he's frustrated. One championship's not going to overturn this to a no contest. They're keeping it doesn't. Yeah, Kyrat out of competition it was, right? So what's your take on this?
Hey, Reese is a great guy. He's a nice guy, but I don't really give a fuck about Reese McLaren. I give a fuck about me feeding my future kid and getting another world title underneath my belt. So sorry, Reese. I know that things don't go your way sometimes, but that's the fight game.
Yes, you mentioned you'll be a dad soon. When is the baby due?
November 14th. So trying to get a fight. I am itching right now. I am literally wanting to kill somebody for my child.
I think Mitch Chilson mentioned that he just casually said Joshua and Jared part 2 is going to happen, but that's not the case, right? There's nothing official in that.
No, I beat Josh good enough to where the fans knew that I was gonna, run through him like I did, and he's not gonna come back after that ass whooping.
John, you got anything for Jared here?
What do you think of this whole out of competition drug testing saga situation? You know what I mean? Like in competition, 10 days after he gets tested and he pops for something. Is that kind of odd to you?
People use things for healing factors as well, as I seen on the interview with Shatri. I understood that portion. I'm cool with out of competition drug testing. I have nothing to worry about, As far as the company, it's just gonna, give us a little bit more stipulations in order to make sure that fighters are fighting clean and doing the right things as a professional athlete.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I don't think that it's mending away from anything. It's a good thing.
Yes, it's a step
for sure.
to positivity, some growth, right, with the organization. With
1,000,000%. Yeah, and one championship, they just keep on, moving up in that direction to where people are going to take us even more seriously.
How much do you get tested yourself?
I've been tested twice since WADA came in, and the Bokang Masanyane fight and the Joshua Pasiao fight. Yeah, it was cool, man. It's cool that they make sure that all of us athletes are doing the right thing and making sure that it's a healthy, clean sport.
Man, I'm just waiting for you to get back in there, man. If you say you got a baby coming
Dude,
in November,
me, bro,
now you gotta get on that October card, right? Is that only make sense?
Yeah, I'm ready and prepared for anybody in the strawweight division right now. So even give me a camp, right? So if you're trying to fight me in the fall, I've been ready. I've been ready since probably May. So anybody you guys want to bring in front of me, I'm willing to knock them down like dominoes, baby.
So Joshua rematch, it doesn't matter to you, just get it signed.
Doesn't matter. That's the easiest match for me because I already know how to beat him and I already know what I need to do to beat him better. So that's not anything that's in my mind. But things that are on my mind is like Demetrius Johnson, Kyrod, those higher level names to where it's just gonna spring me more into stardom and more into the fans' eyes because I am a gleaming light for a fan, but a lot of fans just don't know me because I'm a smaller fighter. But I'm gonna prove to everybody that small guys, they can finish first, right? I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna beat everybody in one championship that they put in front of me. I'm unbeatable. If you guys, the only person to really beat me, Davison Figueiredo never beat me. I beat myself at the end of the day. That's kind of funny to think about, but at the end of the day, I can only beat me. There's nobody that can beat me in the whole entire world that's in my weight bracket or the weight bracket above. And if you guys want to come and test it, come and test it.
There you go.
Yeah, Jared, I saw you tweeted something or put on Instagram. You feel like you're the most slept on fighter in the world, and I kind of agree. We put you, I think, number 3 in our top 10 MMA pound for pound, but do you feel you don't get the respect you deserve?
I feel Anatoly too, right? That's why I post him a lot on my story. I'm just like, dude, this guy is a fucking animal. Like that guy, that guy is very hard to beat. If I was a heavyweight, I'd be like, oh shit, or even a light heavyweight need be, right? So I feel him. I kind of feel like that same way. But I think that the more that we get into the Western front and we take over the world, more people are going to get to know us a little bit more and give us more opportunity to show that we're the best organization in the world. I mean, I watch one championship. That's all I watch. I don't watch UFC. I don't watch any other organization because I know that it's going to be watered down bullshit, right? Then you're getting to see the best jiu-jitsu fights. You're going to see the best Muay Thai fights, the best kickboxing fights, and the best mixed martial artists in the world. So I think people need to catch the fuck up.
I know you're a company man, Jared. You take pride, don't you? Does that harbor from the way things went down with UFC? Have you got a grudge against them, or is it more just the other way?
No, I ain't got no grudge against the UFC, man. They're a great organization. They took care of me while I was there. Do I think that the Western front of fans and matchmakers and presidents of organization in the Western front, I do think that they need to respect us a little bit more. Dana White, Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby, all those guys, they need to come into a gym and get their ass kicked by some 125 pounders real quick. And then they can actually see the respect. You know, somebody looks at me, you know, on TV, I might look a little intimidating or whatever. But if somebody looks at me just, you know, straight person to person and they're 5'9", 200 pounds, they're going to be like, I'm going to beat this little guy's ass. You know what I'm saying? Deep down inside, that's what they're probably thinking. And then they come and train with me and then they get obliterated in the first 30 seconds. I'm tapping them out 5 times. And then they're like, dude, I did not know that little guys were that fucking strong. Or yeah, that's who I'm fighting half of the time. And then those little guys, they have the technical aspect mixed with the strength of a 170 pounder, right? Because we're built into a little pocket bully, right? They're way harder to fight. I'd rather fight a 135 pounder all day than a 125 pounder.
Yeah, we've seen obviously Asia, like smaller fighters get a lot more respect. But do you think we saw with Rodtang right in Denver that he was over huge? He was the biggest. You were there in the arena, so was I. The crowd went insane for him, and he's not exactly a gigantic guy. I think he's smaller than me, you know, and I'm only 5'6", so he's not exactly huge or muscle bound, is he? But they loved him.
100%, but it's also a different sport. Muay Thai, it don't matter. You're just banging. You got people banging the whole time. While you got mixed martial arts, you know, we're fast. We get into a lot of grappling exchanges. You know, a lot of things can happen with the flyweights.
All right, John, I'm gonna throw it to you. I know I've been hogging this. Sorry.
What about some submission grappling, man? Why not go pick up a belt over there? You know.
I would love to. I've already talked about that on Twitter a couple of times, but I would like to take a little bit of time out to prepare for the grappling because I'm so focused on my mixed martial arts. You know, I'll go from style to style to style to style each day. And if I focused, you know, maybe 6 months, I think I could be somebody like Mikey Misamichi.
Okay. You know, I like the way
people will sit there and go, that's a very, very brash way of saying that you can beat Mikey, right? But people sleep on my grappling abilities as well. And, you know, I go with world champions, black belts and brown belts all day in no-gi. And I do very well. And they would tell me that I would do very well. So, yeah, anybody sleeping on me, Mikey, I'm coming for you too if you're not trying to come for me already.
Well, some people, you know, if I ask a fighter that same question, they would say, yeah, next week. I'll fight for the title next week. But you said 6 months. You need 6 months to train. So you're showing respect to the grappler.
I want 6 to fight. If I'm going to go into a grappling competition and I'm already a champion, I'm going to fight a champion, period. So you put me and Mikey Misamichi, of course I'm going to need 6 months. That dude is a grappling wizard. I've known the dude since he was 10 years old. The dude doesn't get off of the mats as far as grappling wise. And as you can see, he's teaching people like fucking Mark Zuckerberg right now. So that's insane as it is. But all respect to Mikey Musumeci, but I want to step in the circle and prove my grounds that I can be the best grappler in the world of flyweight.
Well, maybe we'll see it in the next year or something, next year or two.
Well, it sounds like those two, DJ and Mikey, are going to do something in Qatar, is what I'm hearing. I think it's a mixed rules, whether it's just grappling or I don't know. I think Mikey's trying to get into MMA as well. Maybe you can land on that card as well, Jared, and get in the ring with one of them after a little stare down, call your shot. I don't know. That sounds good to me, huh?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave my opinion out of Mikey fighting.
Well, would you like to be in Qatar?
Qatar would be dope. Yeah, I want to travel the whole world, bro. I've been to a lot of places, and Qatar would definitely be something on the bucket list.
Yeah, I think it's just been Thailand most of this year, hasn't it? Would you be intrigued by Thailand, Lumpini Stadium? A lot of the fighters I speak to all say, it's one of those famed bucket list places for them. Is that something you ever thought about?
Yeah, that'd be cool as hell. I mean, one of my coaches, Mate T, he's Lupini Cup world champion. So I'll have him come to his own stomping grounds again and get to chill with him, and he'll show me a little bit around. But yeah, I would love to fight in the ring as well. Those old Pride rules, that'd be dick.
All right, and we have a question here from John KL. Jared, when are you going to put a coat of paint on that wall and that ceiling, huh?
I'm at my coach's house, so I stay with my coach like 3 times a week. But we got like a little arcade system over here. We got like racing games, stuff like that. But come on, it's a garage.
Yeah, come on, John KL.
It looks nice to me, man. I'm gonna tell you. You got the lights, you got the video games. What else do you need, right?
Yeah, I got a TV in front of me. We're just chilling out here. It's our little study session.
What is that? Mortal Kombat? I see.
Yep, Mortal Kombat. Yes, sir.
Daytona.
And that other one has like 5,000 games.
Oh,
that's not bad. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't you get to that run, Jared? Unless, John, you've got anything final to ask Jared Brooks.
Jared, we've known each other for a while, man. I've seen you rise.
10 years, John. 10 years.
Yeah, man. I've seen you rise, man. Rise. So it's always good to speak with you and chop it up and see the smile, man. See the smile on your face.
It's always great to talk to both of you guys. You guys are definitely slept on in the media industry as far as mixed martial arts as well. I haven't met too many people that are as well informed as you guys and actually care about your jobs as much as other people. And I appreciate what you guys do for One Championship, and I appreciate what you guys do for me.
How nice of you. Damn.
Likewise, man.
Some people in the chat would disagree with you. Some of them hate us here today. We got some trolls, man.
Well, you gotta have haters. You gotta have haters. Jared, you gotta have haters, right?
Fuck the haters. Last thing though, to all my fans, thank you so much for keeping with me and riding this wave. It's just gonna keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're on my team now. Don't wait. Come on the Monkey God side. Let's go.
The Monkey God. How long is this run? How long are we taking?
Oh, on my runs, I do 3.5 miles, and then I do calisthenics and shit like that on the way back.
Oh my God. All right.
BK,
that sounds scary.
Just dropped a message for you. Put up BK's message.
BK. Bokang Mastignane. Oh, we love you, Jared.
We love you. We love you too, Bokang, but don't think I'm not looking to beat your ass here again soon. We love you, Bokang.
Yeah, what about that? Because he got a win over Hiroba Minowa not too long ago, a few months, and I think you seem to be supporting him, right? And you want to do this one?
I think that Bokang is the funniest motherfucker I've ever met in my life. Like we went and got pizza after my fight, and man, I'm not gonna even get into the conversations, but bro, he is one of the funniest people of all time. And I hope that he gets into a good acting career too, because he's never gonna be the One Champion.
Oh wow, it's fighting words. All right, well, yeah, Jared. Well, thank you for coming on the show again, and I'm hoping we get some fight news for you soon. Yeah, I really want to see you back in there. let's
sure.
go. Right, we need it. We need this. We need the monkey god back in action.
Let's
Whoever it
go.
is.
Hey, you guys want to see a sneak peek of my new mask?
Yes, go on.
Okay, this is a tiny portion. This is a tiny one of it. I'm gonna give this to my
Wow.
baby.
All right,
Crazy.
Monkey God Junior.
It isn't painted yet. I'm getting it painted by my tattoo artist, but yeah, y'all got to see a little sneak peek of the new monkey masks. I'm actually gonna be selling these. So if any fan wants a mask, just hit me up. It'll be along with my other merch that I'm coming out with at the end of next month. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, fans. Keep on following me. Appreciate you guys, and hopefully you guys will see me at the end of fall.
Yes, sir. Where can they find this merch as well?
I have not stabilized my website. That's why I said in about 2 months, right? So just want to make sure that we get everything down, like as far as our own website, everything, situated. But yeah, keep on following me, guys. I really appreciate all the love and the support, and I'm coming in and I'm trying to kill the whole division. I don't care if you guys think I'm cocky. I don't really give a fuck at this point. I'm here to make money, and I'm here to make belts, and I'm here to put entertainment on a fucking pedestal.
We'll swap you a t-shirt, Jared. One of our t-shirts for a mask, maybe.
Let's go. Yeah, hell yeah. Well,
okay,
if you guys have any merch, send me some too, or like send me a link so I can get some.
We got some old t-shirts from before the
free,
pandemic.
Man. We'll send it
give
to you
for free.
We'll send it to you.
Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll hook you up.
Well, thank you guys.
All right. Thank you, Jared. We'll see you soon, hopefully. Yeah. Now, John and I will talk a bit more rubbish for another 10 minutes or whatever.
I love that word, rubbish. All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too, mate. Enjoy.
Later.
All right. That was the Monkey God, Jared Brooks, and Liam Harrison back to back. I can't remember last time we did back-to-back interviews. I think it was when you and I did those weird. Do you remember the one on SCMP live days where it was like 6 hours long, man, and we were doing like 10 people in a row or something? I think we only did 2 or 3.
Yeah, we did one of those. I remember. Yeah, we did like 6 interviews live, back to back. Crazy.
Misguided, I think. But
that was a wild time right there. I don't think we'll ever do that again. That was rough.
No, but I quite like having multiple guests. It's fun. Maybe we space them out a bit, but maybe have someone to open the show, talk a little bit for half an hour, and then one more person. Could be fun. We'll think about it. Yeah.
It could be. You know what I mean? Like, but that's if we could get multiple guests every week.
Yeah. We struggle to get one most weeks.
Yeah.
But we could maybe ask this guy, Bokang, if he wants to go on the show.
Yeah, we should. Bokang, you should come on. We go live every day, every week this time. You should hit us up.
Yeah, if we can get more interest, more fighters, maybe we'll go back to. We used to do multiple a week, didn't we? I remember. But sometimes we struggle to have things to talk about with one championship because there's only one big card a month, in terms of the Prime Video. But who knows, now you got more stuff happening. We could go back to multiple shows a week. Let us know if you'd like to see that. But Bokang replied here saying, I hope to fight Jared in the near future again. Mad love to you, but next time we're going to war. All right. We can hang around for a bit longer if you want. John, any other questions in the chat, let us know. Our old buddy Kent Hamlin is here. He's giving us some...
He's our best best what do you call commenter. Ken, shoot us your address. We're gonna send you a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Ken,
DM us. Yeah, we won't put you on blast.
Yeah,
but
Kent, shoot us your address.
Sounds like yes, Kent did not enjoy last Friday's show, but I did, John. Thought it was great. Even though I was in the back mostly. You were out there. It was pretty incredible, wasn't it? I think the response, the ratings were huge in Thailand. One of the best, I think the best live show one has done in Thailand, best of the year overall, apart from Denver, I would say.
I wasn't at Denver, so I have no idea. But it was a great show. I like Lumpini, man. I like the setup. I like how it's built. I like that you can go there and you can sit there pretty much anywhere in the stadium and have a great view of the fights, pretty much anywhere. And the lights, the music, everything, man. The walkouts is great. It's great. And you know, people love the $100,000 stadium, 100,000 people stadium, 50,000 people. You know, that's great and all, but to me, Lumpini is probably one of the best compact stadiums you could go fight at, just entertainment wise as well.
Yeah, it was very good. Gene is accusing us of ducking the Arjan Bhullar versus Malik and Garbage. I'm not ducking anything, Gene. Yeah, the fight didn't deliver. We asked Liam about it. You know, you were the guy who asked the question. We got that on there. Didn't deliver really fight-wise, but they got there where they wanted to in the end, I think, John. I think one were keen to get the belt onto Anatoly, you know, end the undisputed thing. The interim thing. Wasn't the best fight. Anatoly said he was injured. Said he had one leg. He didn't come to media. He went straight to hospital, which I was stunned by because it looked like he barely took a scratch. But he had big bruise under his left eye. He said that Arjan was clawing him with his fingers or something, and Arjan was fighting rough, perhaps. But I don't know. Yeah, what was a bit of a letdown, John, for you?
Well, Anatoly likes it rough. That's why. Anyways, was it a letdown? Not really, because I expected Anatoly to win the fight. That was like my prediction, right? It almost happened. I don't remember exactly what I said last week on the podcast about the fight, but I don't know. It might have played out the way that I expected, that I talked about in the previous podcast. My brain is not working, so I don't remember what I said. But I said I thought Anatoly was going to win. He definitely got the TKO. Arjan, he kind of basically ran out of options, and that's when we got that like little standoff. Remember that when Anatoly was standing there going like this to him? He was going like, because Arjan wasn't doing nothing. He was just kind of like moving around like this, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't doing nothing. And once that happened, I felt like the fight was over. I felt like Anatoly just had it in the bag. It was a matter of time.
Yes, Andrew says, I thought the fight was hilarious. Trying to break a hold by crawling out of the ring is the essence of pride. Yeah, it was a shame. I saw Arjan in the back after he'd just come out of the medical and just looked so disappointed, frustrated, everything all in one. I think he generally thought he was going to win this fight, but Anatoly looked different level to him, I think. So back to the drawing board for Arjan there. He wanted to take them to India, but I don't know if you're one. Do you think John one will go to India now? Ritu looks like she's on the outs with them. Arjan's lost the belt. They've kind of given up on that push to India, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think that they're focused on other parts of the world now, and they've gotten a taste of it. And India hasn't, I guess, received them as they wanted. So they go into other parts of the world, and the other parts of the world are receiving them a little bit better, right? So I think you just got to move on, man. If it's not working, it's not working. Let's go to another option. And they went to the U.S. Looks like they're going to try to go to the U.K. I would love to see them go to the U.K. Next year. Next year would be perfect, I think, timing for them to go to the U.K. in the first half of the year. Is that when the best weather is? Is it during the first half of the year in the U.K.?
Summer is lovely. I'll be going there next month for a couple of weeks. Looking forward to it. Nice. Long summer nights. Sunset at 9 p.m.
And
Lovely.
Qatar. They're going to go to Qatar now. Yeah, I think India's in the dust. Maybe they have a TV deal, but what's the TV deal worth when you have no Indian stars? Nobody that you can actually... Who do they have? Ritu seems like she's out of it. Arjan, I don't know if he's going to even come back and fight in the promotion, right? Because they did have some issues while he was champion, right?
They did. Well, before he fought, we did have an interview, and he did say he was going to win this fight, and then he wanted to turn around quickly and do a show in India. So who knows? Maybe they'll still use him. Kent has been bringing this one up all day, so
what is it?
I'll admit, yes, I did say Arjan convinced me in his interview that the fight would be closer than I was originally thinking. That is, I'm not ashamed to say that. He talked a good game. Didn't show up. Did not show up at all. Arjan performance was not good, and I think he'll admit that. But he took Anatoly to the third round, which no one else has in one. Is that something he can be proud of, John?
I don't think so. I don't think you're going to be proud of that as a fighter. I have nothing else to say about that fight. You know, Anatoly, he told you he was on one leg, and you made it to the third round. Maybe Arjan was injured too as well. We don't know. You know, no, he hasn't spoken since the fight. You know, we saw him. You saw him behind, you know, backstage. I saw him after the fight embracing, looked like some of his family members. You know, it's gotta suck to be one of his family members to watch that, you know, go down, especially in such a big fight. But it is what it is, man.
Yes. I think this is another dig at me from Kent. I'd be ashamed. I've seen Bhullar beat a 90-year-old Vera. Yes. I think we should have known, John. Perhaps.
Vera's not 90 years old. He's 73. Get it right. And he's a Filipino movie star. Like, he's living good, man. You know?
Yeah.
He's living good. Don't throw shade at Brandon Vera.
Yes. And Kent says, anyone who knows anything about Bhullar would get smashed. Look what happened. It did. It did happen, Kent. But, you know, MMA, it's not always so predictable, is it? We have these things called upsets where people pull off shocks. I mean, I'm sure you were betting on Juliana Pena to beat Amanda Nunes the first time, right? I'm sure Kent got that.
Kent was,
yes.
He knew something. He always does.
Yeah.
Kent, send the address. We're going to send you a t-shirt.
Yeah. Migs, damn Nick, how does it feel to get a hater in the big leagues now? Yeah. I mean, Migs, it is fine. If I'm in a bad mood, I'd probably block him. I think Ken is a few people in this chat, and I think I know who it is. He's just spamming us, but it's all good. We can deal with it. It's fine. I like it. Yeah,
it. You know, if you've been watching us, Nick is not as tolerable, but I enjoy it. I enjoy people talking, you know, like Kent does. It stirs the pot a little bit. It makes it fun. You know what I mean? We don't have to put his comments on the screen, but we do just because it's fun. You know what I mean? It pushes the podcast through. And the people that listen because they purely enjoy one championship or they just enjoy the podcast, you guys are loved equally as well. Actually, not equally, a little bit more. Kent.
A little bit more. Yeah.
Kent, let me give us the address.
But it's all good. Someone was asking in the chat, any news lately? I can't remember who it was. What is the news? The news is, yes, we have another show in 2 weeks, but I'm hearing things, John, you know, there's some scrambling around and stuff. Yes, it doesn't look like the best card on paper. We could preview it next week, but you know, we're 2 weeks out. It's not fully formed yet. Let's see.
We even talk about it. But there's fights announced we could talk about. Yeah. What was announced?
What, for the next Prime Video?
No, just like in the last couple of days, there's been a few fights announced, right? Like there's what's his name? Amir.
Yes, I was supposed to do this later, but I think he put it out on his Instagram or something.
Yes.
Yeah, Amir Ali Akbari and Dustin Johnson is going to happen, yes, at the next Prime Video card, I think. Or is it August? Is it 12, 13? I think it's 12, yeah. So
12 is the next show.
Yeah, okay. I think I messaged Dustin Johnson saying, oh, could I get a comment? He said something really hilarious back. It was, let me find this. I hope he doesn't mind me because I did ask him for a public comment. He said, first fight offer from one in over a year, and it's another short notice fight against another wrestler. So thumbs up. Yeah. I think he's happy. Because I was surprised Dustin was back because I saw him was making noise on social media, John. You're getting angry that they weren't giving him fights or they were going to release him. So that's a tough one to come back. Amir Ali Akbari. He looked good.
It is, but I think that this is a title eliminator. I think that's what's happening. I think if Amir wins this fight, he's going to fight Anatoly. I think that's the fight they're going to make at heavyweight.
That could happen. All right.
Where's Kang Ji-won anyways?
No idea.
What
A
happened to
few
him?
people missing.
Yeah,
You told me he had orbital surgery, and
yeah, but
I
he
think that
fought
takes a
since
while.
then. That was a
Really?
long time
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
Was
So
that
I don't know what's going on.
finished him, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people aren't fighting. A lot of people are angry about it, including Jonathan DeBella, our man, who we asked Chatri about. Well, Chatri, I don't think I even asked him, but Chatri spoke about it, and he said he respects DeBella and Lasiri, but he wants his champions to be active. John, whose side are you on in this debate? Sorry to put you on the spot. Do you see both sides of it?
We don't even know what the truth is. We're getting a he said, she said situation here, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Usually I side with the fighters just because I'm fighter first most of the time. But I don't know about the situation, right? I don't know Jonathan DeBella. I have no contact with him. I have nothing. And it was interesting what Chatri said during the interview about this whole situation, how he has kind of I believe in the past he was really deeply involved in the matchmaking and just the company being run on a like really really detailed day-to-day basis. But now I think the company's grown to a certain level to where he can't do that anymore, so he doesn't know what's going on and he has to trust people, right? The matchmakers, whoever they are. I'm not gonna say their names because I don't know if people know who they are, but yeah, they do their thing, and they say to Chatri, how they're dealing with the fighter, right? And could there be some miscommunication there? There could be, right? But maybe there's something else. I don't know, but I hope more comes out. I wish the fighters would be more transparent, but they're not.
Well, I asked Jonathan for some comment a couple of weeks ago, I think, and he said, respectfully, he just didn't want to make it worse or anything. A bit tired of the drama. His dad I spoke to a bit, and he said they had been asking for fights a lot since January. They were offered a date for June 23, which would have been last weekend's show. So they began a training camp for that. And then suddenly they were then told it's August 5 now. So when they said, well, what happened to June? This is what they were telling me. And then they had a holiday booked as well for August, like a trip to Italy for the family. So it didn't work for them. And they weren't too happy with the purse that was offered. So that's what he was telling me. So I see he's upset. I see why they wouldn't want to take that fight. It's a mess. I just hope it can get solved because I don't want to see John DeBella walk away from one championship, or I don't want to see him get involved in a lengthy contract thing like we're seeing with Anissa Mexen and Jimmy Viano and Ritu Fogat. There's a few people now going through that, and I like him so much. I just want to see him fight in person as well. I wasn't there in Kuala Lumpur for when he won the belt, and a rematch with Zhang would be great. I hope they can come to some agreement. August, it looks like a kickboxing card, you know what I mean? So he would have been perfect for that, and I think that's why they wanted him on that one. But it seems like, they just changed the date. And sometimes, John, you book things, right? You can't get out of. And I think Martin was telling us he has a family holiday planned. And, some people might say, oh, well, you can just move the holiday. But people have families. They need to do things outside of the fighting, right? It's not always just fighting comes first. You're a family man yourself. You know that feeling?
Yeah, but your career is something that you only get one time, right? And you have to put that first. I think, man, I put a lot of things first. I have a family, of course, but I think my family's first, of course. But the only way to like make my family comfortable is to make my work first. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it kind of coincides together, and if you're thinking about holidays and all that stuff, and you're in the prime of your career and you're thinking about holidays, I don't know, man. Of course, if they offer you a fight and you deny it because of a holiday, they probably won't come back, and for a little bit, right? Because there's only one champion. You got to think of it that way as well. There's only one champion. There could be a roster of 25, but there's only one champion. So if the champion doesn't fight, then like, what do? They do an interim title fight. You know what I mean? Like, how many of those can you have? They just had one. Prajin Chai just became the interim title.
I see what you mean, but if you are the champion, shouldn't they not mess you around, like, change the date at short notice? And I'm sure they would happily rearrange this holiday if it was. I think they're unhappy about the pay as well. So why would you do it if you weren't getting the money you think you wanted or deserved? Would you then rip up your plans? It seems like one small thing has just snowballed into another, and now it's getting out of control. I think they need to get in a room or on a Zoom call, all of them, hash it out. Chacho said he talked to Lasiri on Instagram, and they figured it out. And Bhullar said the same thing to me when I interviewed him. He said he called Chatri, or Chatri called him for the first time since he'd been in one. They had like a heart-to-heart, one-on-one conversation, like for a lengthy time, and they got on the same page. I think that's what's going to happen. I think get Chatri on the phone with John DeBella.
You saying who's dealing with the fighters are doing their job right? Is that what you're saying?
Am I saying that?
Take over?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it can get confusing, right? If party over here, side B, you got side C is Chatri, everyone is kind of disconnected. This is a champion, right?
Well, it looks like everybody needs to line up.
Yeah, line up. They got to
line up and compromise. It's like a marriage. You have to you have to compromise, right? It's not just you can't.
I think if you're a champion in one, you should have a direct line, to Chatri, and you should be able to call the shots a little bit. You should be able to say, "I want this date." That's my opinion.
I don't know, man. To be honest with you, when you become the champion, I don't know if you should be calling the shots. You're the champion. You have the status that you deserve, and you should be getting paid what you want. But picking dates and picking opponents and stuff, I don't know if that's what champions should be doing. I'm just saying, I don't know if that's what I could see compromise in, like, dates and locations maybe, but opponents, you're a champion. You should be fighting anybody that they put against you. Because why? You're going to get paid championship money.
Well, I think that's why Chatri loves, guys like Haggerty or whoever. Yeah, he has a bunch of champions.
He loves Malikan. I think Malikan is his favorite fighter, to be honest with you. I think that's like his favorite guy. He loves him.
Yeah, I think he loves anyone who will fight whenever, wherever. They won't even ask how much money is for. And then they're the ones who seem to get the rewards, right? They get the big bonuses if they get a finish. And it's a tough game to play, I know. And you can't live your life taking less than you think you're worth in the hope you might get a bonus, whatever, and it doesn't come. What happens then? And if you're only getting one fight a year and you're on a purse that you consider small, you can't live off that, John, right? You need multiple fights a year, and a lot of fighters just aren't getting offered fights. We're hearing it from a lot of them, so I can understand the frustration. Yeah.
I understand frustration, right? Because we don't know what's happening behind closed doors. We're only speculating right now, right? We're only speculating. We have no idea what's happening, but it's true. A fighter needs to fight to make money, and you need to give them as many fights as you can, and offer them as many fights as you can. And a lot of fighters, man, and champions as well, have not fought in this calendar year, or this year, right, of 2023 at all. Like, did the Panda fight this year?
Zhang Jingnan, no, she's not fought since Angela Lee Trilogy September, I think.
She's pretty much fallen off the face of the earth, right? Like, we hear nothing about her.
I'm hearing noises. She may be back soon.
In Qatar?
I can't say anything, but yeah.
There you go. In Qatar. You see Tang Kai? Tang Kai, I know he was booked to fight Ton Lee, and he's injured. There's a list. There's a few kickboxing champions we haven't seen in so long. You just talked about DeBella, but there's other ones that have been out longer than him, and they're just sitting in the cut waiting, right? And you got all these Friday fights going on. Why not just put those kickboxing title fights on the Friday fight cards? Like,
I think Friday fights.
Money? I don't think it's because of money, because Chatra's giving out bonuses like it's nothing, and those bonuses are worth a lot of people, more than people's purses.
But there are very strict budgets, from what I know, for Lumpini and a lot of that comes from travel. It's like, you're going to fly someone in from the US for Friday fights card when the flight's going to cost more than their purse, you know, like a lot more. Or you're going to get someone who lives in Thailand and trains here. You don't have to spend much. I think it's kind of mainly becoming a place, a show, Lumpini Friday fights, for Thailand and people who are based there, right? And I think at the moment, One Championship, it seems to be based out of there. They'll splash a bit more for Prime Video shows, yes, and fly people in. But I think on Friday you're not going to fly a kickboxer from America or Canada, or maybe I'm wrong.
Dark Side, let's put this up. Dark Side, right? Zhang, JDB, Lasiri, Pechtanong, then need the interim guys like it's like, it's just like Pechtanong, he should have fought in Lumpini, right? Anytime, like any of these Fridays.
Pechtanong wants to fight. He's been pushing.
What's the holdup?
Well,
and Samila, she should be fighting.
Fought.
I know, but her title,
right? Yeah. Pechtanong is probably back soon, from what I know. But
and then Alicia Rodriguez, she's based in Thailand as well. She could fight on Friday fights if she wanted to, you know, defend the title against anybody.
But the thing is, they have the fighters, and especially the champions, will have a contract, and then if they fight on Friday fights, they'll still legally be entitled to that purse that they normally get. But the budget isn't there, from what I know, to say and pay a champions. If you like, they can do it 4 times a year. They do these tentpole shows, right? Like we just went to, where they will splash out, get some bigger names on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think every other week they're keeping it to a tight budget, and I get that. So
this is becoming a major problem, man, because what other promotion has this problem as well right now, and they have way more fighters on their roster than One Championship does, is Bellator. Like, I've spoken to so many Bellator fighters where they're like, yo, we can't even get a fight, man. Like, it's hard to get 2 fights in a year, let alone 3, you know, because there's so many fighters and not enough cards for the fighters. And there's a lot of frustration in that. But I feel like when you become a bigger promotion and more known and more recognized and whatnot, you're going to face these problems. I think, you know, you're going to face problems with your champions and fighters being disgruntled and, you know, people not getting along and, you know, because egos grow, everything. It's all part of the game. Look, you know, UFC, same thing. UFC, Dana White, he lies every week. You know what I mean? He tells us this, the next week he tells us that. You know, like it's you know, what is real in martial arts? You know, martial arts is supposed to be about honor and integrity and all of that, but in this fight game, that stuff it's almost like it's, you know, not existing in most parts, right?
Well, yeah, some people asking about budgets, RJ, but every business has a budget, man. SCMP has a budget. If I go over it, I get told off, you know, for my monthly spend for my budget. I have to coordinate a few people, like getting John paid and a few other contributors. If I spend more than the allocated budget, I get it. You know, it's the way it is. UFC has budgets, even though they're a multi-billion-dollar company. They still choose to do shows out of their Apex, right?
Why would they do it out of the Apex? Because they're making buku bucks. Doing it in the Apex, right? And exactly, then right. Like the fighter pay is really low because they're making buku bucks. They have a budget, but if you spend under the budget, you save money and you make more money, right? So
yes,
there you go.
And right now, One is putting on shows at pretty low cost in Lumpini Stadium, and they're probably saving a lot of money and making more money than they would normally. So that's the way it is at the moment. I think they're going to open up again at the end of this year and next year, and we're going to start seeing them travel around Asia again, crazy. Back in the US. So
just ride it out, guys. Fighters, you know, I feel your frustration. I feel like there's going to be something, you know, on the horizon eventually, hopefully, for you guys. I'm praying for it. If it doesn't happen, then man, that sucks. But, you know, there's always another place you can go. Let's just say that. But yeah, these days, I thought this would never happen, to be honest with you. I thought that this, like, who'd have thought PFL would be a thing? You know what I mean? Like, there's competition now all over the world. But one thing that's different about One Championship, it's a martial arts organization. It's not an MMA organization. It's not a Muay Thai organization. It's not a kickboxing organization. It's a martial arts organization. So that's what makes it different from the UFC and Bellator and PFL. But all the problems that come with running an organization, they have them, just like the other organizations, right? So it is what it is, man. But like you said, there's a budget for the Lumpini shows every week. They could only spend so much money, and I understand that, because if you ever worked a job or been in charge of, a group of people or a project, you understand what that entails.
Yeah, and the same people saying, "Oh, they need to spend all this money, they need to do this and that." The same ones who are going to criticize them then when Bloody Elbow puts out an article saying one is $70 million in the black or red, whatever you say. Yeah, it's like you cannot win. They're trying to cut costs because everyone's been saying they've been spending way too much money out of their means. I think this year we've seen them like tighten their belt a bit, and I'm a fan of it. I think they're securing their long-term future by like stripping back slightly this year. But this has been a big year for them. Lumpini has been a huge success. You saw the ratings in Thailand, John. 5 million or
massive sponsors, I guarantee you, too, hopping on with that as well. Big commercials, all that.
Yeah. So if they can get that base in Thailand, which I think they already have now, I think they're clearly the number one there in Thailand. Now they have a foundation, which I don't think they had before. They say we're based in Singapore, but I never felt like they had an actual home. They have a clear home now, which is Bangkok, which they can just spread from. And I think expanding into the US, expanding into Middle East and Europe is from what I'm being told. So future looks bright, I think. Brighter than it has done for a while. One, have had a rough few years in the pandemic. I think they had reduced their events drastically until this year. I mean, if you're not counting Lumpini, they're still only doing one a month. Whereas, I think it won't be out of the question to see 2 big cards a month. And I think that's when all the fighters are going to start getting shows, getting paid. Just need to get there, like John says, ride it out. And as fans, I think it's going to be good for us as well. At least we've got the Lumpini shows to watch, but I want to see a primetime Asia show every month, John, again.
Yeah, they need to go in rotation. They need to do the Asia tour. Japan, Philippines, maybe even China, KL, go back to Indonesia, Singapore. There's a lot of places they can go, that they have fans there. So I wish they would do it like once a month, one show in Asia, once a month, one show internationally, right? I think that's what they're going to get to eventually. This year is more like a leveling out year, right? The pandemic's over. They're kind of catching their feet again in a way, right? Because like you said, during the pandemic, they're pretty much shut down, just like any other organization.
Yeah,
the only one that survived.
Asia took a long time to kind of come back from the pandemic. Everyone thinks, the West was obviously open 2021. Or was it 22? Can't remember. Asia, Hong Kong, where I live, only just really reopened a few months ago, and Thailand was not long before that. It's been difficult in this part of the world to put on shows. China's still not even open.
Well, Singapore was the worst, and that's where they had to put on the shows. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was just they just had bad luck, and this year they're just catching their feet. They're leveling out. You know what I mean? And then now they're gonna get their feet under them, and then they're gonna push forward. That's what I'm hoping for. And the Lumpini shows is gonna every Friday. It's gonna be beautiful, man. It's been beautiful. The violence has been crazy. You know what I mean? That's like the talk is one Lumpini. I need to get one of those shirts, man. Nick, you need to have someone hook me up with one of those one Lumpini shirts when I go there.
Sure, I need one.
I'm not gonna pay that money. I'm not gonna pay that money.
No, I'll swap them for one of ours, perhaps. You can have.
Oh yeah, we can make a trade.
Anonymous says 3 prime time events each in Asia, Europe, USA every month. That might be too many, but
yeah, I think it's one internationally and one in Asia. I think that would be perfect. That's what 24, big shows a year.
I think one in US prime time, one in Asia or wherever, something else, Europe or Asia prime time.
And 24 a year is perfect at this time, and it'll give enough space for the roster to get enough fights every year or every couple of months. and then sprinkle in the Lumpini events, and we all good.
Nicola asking, what happened to one's openweight Muay Thai Grand Prix? Yes, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Nothing happened to it. It was just a fart in the wind.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Let us know. We'll probably go in about 5 minutes, or if not, we can leave now. But John KL, they need to do solid promo of their women's atomweight for the States. Solid fighters they have there. Well, Stamp was a star when we went to Denver, so I'm sure, John, they will be hoping that Stamp beats Ham. Do you think, is that fair? Should be a huge star for them.
Well, Thailand is starting to become the home base, man, of one championship, and I thought it should have been the whole time. To be honest with you, if you're going to be in Southeast Asia, Thailand is probably the spot. But yeah, you got Rodtang, Superlek. Of course, you want. You got Taiwan Chai. Of course, you want Stamp. Stamp has I think she has the potential to be the biggest star. If she goes on and becomes, because she had won the Grand Prix, right? And now she becomes the atomweight champion, interim atomweight champion, whatever. But she becomes a champion, and that's going to be huge for her. And she's doing seminars all over the place, from what I hear. So she does have some big following out there.
Yes, as Chuck points out, WMA now, the simping for Stamp in Denver was nuts. It's off the scale. Everyone loves Stamp and Rodtang. Even more than DJ, I think. Crazy.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, well, probably wrap it up there. Been a nice solid hour and a half again. After a couple shows, we didn't get to the hour and a half mark. We were struggling to make an hour, John, because nothing was happening. That lull between May and June shows, it's crazy.
You know
but
what?
Now things are going on.
You could say nothing is happening, but we can turn it on live and we could go an hour and a half, no problem, because the people in the chat, the wonderful people, good and bad, right? Negative or positive, we get you guys. And the chat goes on because of them. Appreciate you guys all, man. And make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. If you're watching the podcast and you enjoy the interviews, and if you enjoy the coverage, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, because we could put up a lot of content over there as well.
Yes, we do. And YouTube Shorts, we're doing those now. If you prefer your content on YouTube to be minuscule, you can get some glimpses. There's the thing. Yes, follow us there. Anyway,
let's talk about one last thing about there's some questions here. Let's get into some of these questions, and we could go.
What we got?
Our listeners.
What we got?
Nicola? What is Nicola?
Why is Chatri throwing guys out of the top 5 to Rodtang and Superlek like their last fights? Well, I think if you're a fighter, you're not going to turn down fighting someone who's not even ranked, right? And then you're going to probably get a knockout, probably going to get a bonus. Rodtang is rich. Superlek probably, I think Liam was hinting at it. It's like you can either fight Rodtang and you might beat him, and then yes, but you probably get richer just taking other fights. And then like this Nabil fight, there was easy work in the end for Superlek, and he got $50,000. I don't know what his purse was, but that's not bad for one round work. It wasn't even a full round. And he fought in March. I think he got a bonus then. And he fought a guy who was much smaller than him, Daniel Williams, weight class below. Fought a guy much taller than him now, so he can do it all.
Yeah,
Superlek.
He's fighting like the whole
the
scrap pack. You know what I mean? Like he's fighting the whole like Fat Albert and the Funky Bunch, right? Like he's fighting everybody. But like you guys gotta think also. You guys gotta put this in, like that's their number one goal, is to fight for the most money that they can make. They're legit prize fighters. Like they've been fighting since they were a teenager. They've been fighting since they were 9 years old. Like guys like that, and a lot of those dudes have hundreds of fights. Do you think after hundreds of fights they want to not make as much money? Do you think they want to like hang on to the what is it called, to the streak of building their bank account? You know what I mean? Like I understand that. Like I understand Superlek going in and fighting these guys if they're offered to him and not fighting Rodtang. You know what I mean? Of course I want to see Rodtang, but you know, like going as far as like they're ducking each other, I don't think they're ducking each other. I think if Chachi like really forced them to fight and they're gonna get paid a lot, they would fight each other. But right now they're in a position where they don't have to fight each other. And they could go fight other guys and then make a lot of money at the same time. I love it. Why would you not do it?
Yeah, and Ichi points out that Nabil is pretty damn good. He was.
Liam was saying it as well.
Yeah. A lot of people were highly rating him that I spoke to, and yeah, Rodtang maybe fought lesser names, but it's right. Yeah, they're getting bonuses, and look, Rodtang, Petanong, Tawanche now all walk around with they got the same damn Rolex on, and that's a life-changing moment right there when you've come up in the game together. You've been struggling for years. Sometimes you don't make ends meet. You're wearing a Rolex on your wrist, and you're looking around. You're seeing other guys who came from the same background as
Apple
you.
Watches.
Yeah, but you're seeing people make this money now. You're gonna want that money. You're gonna, one is for good or bad, for better or worse. One is changing the game. It looks like in Thailand, right?
You got that Apple Watch? Damn, that ain't nothing, boy.
I don't have. My Apple Watch actually just got repaired. They told me it's waiting for me in the Apple store down the hill. So I was a bit busy to get it today. I'll go tomorrow and get it.
Was Rodtang the one who ripped it off your wrist and threw it on the ground and smashed it with his foot? Because he was wearing the Rolex.
Yeah,
right.
No, I tell you what.
Spit on it. He was like, psh.
Rodtang. Since Rodtang started getting all the 10 million and the 100K bonus, he has changed so much. He used to be really difficult to work with, from what I'm told, in terms of you could never get him to turn up on time. You could never get him to agree to do anything they didn't have to do. Now the guy is like unpacking my camera gear for me. You know what I mean? He's like coming up to me and shaking my hand.
I told you, the 10 million baht, man, that's a different story.
That's it, right?
It's different. You money does make you nice. You know, some people, money makes them a dick, right? But for him, money has made him nicer and more respectable, and he knows that every single thing that he does could lead to more money. That's why.
Yeah. I said this was a genius move in Denver when Chatri gave him 100K. I thought that is ridiculous. You know, he's beaten Edgar Tabares, who's never fought in one, and a lot of people didn't give him a chance. He looked tiny, and 100K, but it was genius because it was a big message to Rodtang. So look, if you turn up on time, you're professional. We can make a lot of money together. Look at this crowd; they love you. We'll make you a star. We'll make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Message was well and truly received, I think. And then the 10 million is another. It's just the next level of that. He's going to be.
And when you say it in baht, it just sounds
so
much more than. But it's still 10 million baht is a lot of money. But it's not like, you hear the 10 million and you're like, whoa. But
yeah, what's that? 300,000 US. So
yeah, but still 300,000 US to fight. That is insane amounts of money. You know what I mean? Like it's like you said, it's life-changing money. You know, like he's buying houses, he's taking care of his like extended family. He's rolling around in Rolexes, just like jewelry, wearing all white. Like you only wear all white when you have some money.
Exactly. Well, yes, one question here from Nicola. I would like to see this. Yes. Are they going to invite Yu Yao Pui after this Friday fight nights to the big show? If she wins, she's been kicking ass. Yes,
Hong Kong. We need to get her on this show.
Yes.
You should know. Isn't she from Hong Kong?
Yeah. So maybe we can. I think she's on the next show. So maybe
after the next show next week.
Yeah, if she wins, gets a contract, that'll be good for Hong Kong.
Get her on the podcast. Let's do it.
Yeah, there's a few people coming out of Hong Kong.
Get a female on the podcast. Like, have we had like a female guest?
Fighter wise, I don't
not
think
on the show, right? Yeah. So let's make her Hong Kong's finest, right? Let's get her on the show.
I could ask my buddy Janet Todd, perhaps, but I think it will divide the audience. Some people hate her, right? They guess all the trolls say she was ducking Anissa for so long and this and that, and yeah. But Janet's very nice. Met her in Denver. Maybe we could get her.
I didn't know Janet Todd hasn't defended her kickboxing title yet.
Yeah, that was, I think, literally she won it before the pandemic, or it was just starting, February. But she was chasing the Muay Thai thing. But I get it. I don't want to open that can of worms again. I definitely should have defended that belt. I think they should have done Mexican in her. Anyway,
hopefully they do it now.
Yeah, Kent's saying you had Jada on, but that was the fight companion, Kent, not the podcast. But Darkside thinks Marie Rumey's going to beat her. Yes.
Okay, I'd like to see that. That would be a good fight. I'd like to see what happens.
All right. Shall we call it there?
Let's call it a night.
Yeah, it's been a good one. I enjoyed it. Liam Harrison and Jared Brooks, 2-for-1 special. We'll be back next week. Who knows? I'm starting to get the itch to do multiple shows a week. If we have enough to talk about, we could maybe do a couple shows, like an hour each. But sometimes I feel like a week's too long, John. Too much happens between. Things are happening now.
Dude, it's gonna get busier. Like we should be loving this time right now. We should be enjoying this time right now, because like I said earlier, it's gonna pick up, man, towards the end of this year. You said it. It's gonna pick up. There's gonna be more events. There's gonna be more things happening, more show. Just more matchups, more news, more drug test failures, more controversies. It's all part of it, man. So enjoy it now.
Yes, maybe you're right. We will enjoy the silence or the quiet now. All right, catch us next week, guys. Sorry. And we'll be back. One Friday Fights is on Friday. I don't really know who's fighting. Maybe we'll do something about that. Who knows? All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time. So I pressed end. Okay.